Hey guys, at BV Matson here, and got the shockwave installed on the CB350. So I'm going to turn my attention to the CL350. This thing is roached. Ain't no joke. Super, super roached. But what I would actually like to do today is actually just get all of this wiring out of the way, get the cables out of the way, start stripping this down because this engine 100% is coming out of this thing, all right? Um, it was going to come out in the first place, but because I had that little spark plug debacle, a bunch of stuff went down in the cylinders when I was pounding those out. So there's debris in the cylinders. So even if I wanted to get it running, that's a major, major problem. But again, I bought the bike for $100, so it's all good. And the whole intention of the bike was to tear this engine out and start digging another layer deeper into the onion on these bikes. So let's walk through how to start tearing things down on the CL350 so eventually we can get that motor out. Now, one of the things that is actually pretty good on this bike, these gauges are in great shape, and I really do think that they're going to clean up really, really well once I get them off the bike. So that's what I'm going to focus on. Let's get the gauges out. Let's get this bucket out. Let's deal with all this tons of wiring up in here as well. Let's start pulling this stuff apart and tearing into it. So here's how to remove gauges from a CL350. All right, getting these gauges out is actually really, really simple. I've already got all of the speedo and tack taken off, right? So the cables are coming out of here. So really, I think all we got to do here, grab a 12 millimeter wrench and let's take these. Oh God, this thing is so crusty. This bike is really showing me that I got so lucky on my 70 CB350. Um, I got so lucky with that bike. I thought I had some headaches with that bike, but it's nothing compared to how crusty this one really, really is. Again, just kind of, you know, pay attention here to what's going on. And this gauge is going to pop right off once we get this bolt out. These gauges, I'm torn, man. I'm really torn as to whether or not I'm going to even try to rebuild this. So again, here, there is a washer, a locking washer, and a nut. So again, grab a bag, grab a Ziploc bag, and we're going to label all this stuff. And we're going to store all this stuff together. But that's going to pop this right off. Okay? Real, real simple. Now, when you're looking at these, you're going to see this. Boom, boom, boom. These are the bulbs inside of this gauge, and they're tied into the main wiring harness on these bikes. So for now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull those out. Boy, they're crusty. I'm going to hold off 1 second. Let's get this other one loose, and then we'll go from there. Also, look at this. There's a little ground cable here. That goes right to the post. I'm not even sure what the hell that is. Gonna have to go to the manual. Again, get a manual, guys. All right, and we're just gonna go work our way over onto this one. And let's see if this one's as cooperative as the other one. I mean, the other one was really crusty, but they're coming off. And I really do attribute that to, going and hitting every nut and bolt that you can right when you get your bike with that WD-40. It's been sitting for a while. I've actually come out a few times since having it and just spraying it down and doing that. So we're going to pull this gauge off right here. Ooh, there we go. Now we're going to take note. We got our washer. We've got our locking washer, and we got our nut. So, and we got our nut. There it is. All right. So, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go and grab a Ziploc bag, and now we're gonna deal with these gauges. Throw the nuts and bolts in the bag, and we'll be good to go. Safe. one of the most terrifying things that you're going to have to deal with, and I had severe anxiety while working on these bikes, is this headlight bucket. Everything, almost everything, connects inside the headlight bucket. I'm already seeing a piece that I need. I need this for my CB350, actually. Might be able to salvage that from my own bike. Yes. But this is, it's a nest, man. There's a lot going on in here. Take tons of pictures, number one, and take close-up pictures. But most of all, just go get a wiring diagram. It can really, really, really help you out. But we need to get this bucket off, and we need to get these gauges off. So what we're going to do is we need to identify a few things as far as what's going on here. So you just follow some of these leads. Each one of the gauges actually has its own thing. So you just got to kind of work your way around and find the connections. So here's my main gauge here. I kind of want to keep it all together. I don't want to pull those bulbs out. So what I'm going to do is just dig around here. And there you go. It's, oh my God, it's such a mess. It like gives me giant anxiety. And then there's another cable right here. This is coming out of this gauge. So the gauges are all dedicated. So first of all, we can follow these leads around. We got brown and green. We only got 2 wires coming out of here. And there you go. You're going to see a lot of stuff like this. You're going to see a lot of things with greens, 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 browns, 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 all this stuff, okay? So again, take a picture. It's linked up with a bunch. It's in a quad with a bunch of greens. Green is ground on Hondas. So that's our grounding cable for that. And then we're going to follow this brown and white wire around. And that's going into a bunch of this stuff. So let's pull this. So now that should be free. This gauge is now free. And then what we're going to do, we're going to follow this one around. This one's a little thicker. There's a little bit more going on in this one. So we've got, you've got your neutral light, your flashing light, your background light for the gauge, all kinds of things. So we're just going to pull this, follow this through. Wiring diagram for the win when we want to put all this back together. Once you do it once, it's not that bad. I'm going to pull this right here. And these connectors actually, they just pop. So just pull them, okay? They just pop right off. Just pull them straight out. Don't jerk on them sideways. But then there you go. There's that. All right. So now these gauges are totally free. Look how nice those look. The paint is still there. The inside is in really, really great shape. I'll actually take this and test the bulbs. It's kind of fun when you can get the original bulbs to work out. But this is in fantastic shape. And then let's pull this one up. This one too, fantastic shape. This bike actually has 6,149 miles, almost made it to 6,150. But these gauges are pretty cool. These are going to clean up really, really nice. So let's take those and put them in the box. We'll be nice and gentle with these. We're going to set these right down in here. There's our gauges, and there's all our parts so far. Okay, the gauges are all off. Now we need to focus on these cables. Look at this. These are crusty. I don't think these are salvageable in any way, shape, or form, but I'll show you how to take them off. All right, let's start with this front brake cable. Guys, it hardly moves, but we're going to pull off this adjuster first. All right, this might actually clean up. If I clean this up with a wire brush and I drop this into some of the that rust material, that might clean up actually. But basically just pull this right through, and what you're going to do is you're going to swing it and then pull it straight down. Man, this thing is crusty. Should pop right out. There we go. There you go, front brake cable. Now, sadly, when I bought this bike, I had to cut the front brake cable. I was in a real rush to get it moved. So this should just pull right out. And there it is. See, kind of bummed I had to cut that. But again, it was a big, big rush. But yeah, like honestly, I think I might be able to save save this adjuster. It's crusty, but all of these parts, these original parts, shoot, if it's worth $5 to somebody or $10 to somebody, it's totally worth it. So let's move over to the clutch, because the clutch can be a little bit more of a PITA, if you will, PITA. So, second verse is same as the first, but again, look at how crusty this is. It's going to turn. It's going to come out of there. It's. I didn't realize how actually. Oh boy, it's all totally just wrecked. This is going to be tough, guys. Getting this off of here. We're going to keep trying, though. Keep trying. One of the things with these bikes, man, perseverance goes a long way. Perseverance goes a long way. Later on, one of these times, I'm going to have to make a video about how to adjust these cables. It was a learning experience for sure, especially the clutch cable on these Honda Twins. They're a finicky bunch, and there's definitely a few tricks to them that I picked up along the way. But yeah, this thing ain't moving. I gotta back this thing all the way out. It's a long-winded one, so bear with me here. Probably one of the most handy tools you can have in your arsenal, man, is a good pair of vice grips. It's going to be good. Now, this cable is a little bit different now. Let me rotate this so you can see. You got to get it lined up. Let's zoom in here. Make sure you can see what I'm talking about. See how on this piece right here, there's a little slot there? If you want to get this cable out, you're going to have to align this. You're going to have to align this, and this part. Here, let me roll you down just a little bit so you can see this. All right, so now you can really see these different slots. And as you're turning this, you're going to need to align this in order to get all of this out of here properly. This clutch cable can be really finicky, but now it's loose, see? So what we need to do is we need to rotate it so it's even with the slot underneath. And then we're going to be able to pull that out and drop it out just like that. You just need to align it. You just need to align those two slots with the slot at the bottom of that handle, and that should pop right out. So going down, we got to go and look at the gearbox here. All right, so we just took that off of the handle. And if you follow this cable down, it's coming through here, and it runs all the way down, and it runs right in to the top of this. So in order to get this off, it's time to remove our first side cover. This could go really good, or this could go really, really bad, okay? So I'm going to go get the right. So somebody's replaced these. These already have Allen heads on them, which actually makes me feel pretty good because those are a hell of a lot easier to get out than the stock bolts. But let me find the right wrench, and let's tackle the side cover, and we'll let you see what's going on under here so we can actually get this clutch cable out of here. All right, let's give it a whirl. Again, I'm optimistic because these hex heads or these Allen wrenches are way, way easier to get off. So let's stick it in our first one here and see what happens. Bike moved on me. Oh, that one came free. That is so lucky, you guys. These, honestly, somebody used this came out so clean. That was nice. Okay, I'm optimistic. I spent so much time trying to get these covers off on my CB350. Like, I stripped them out. It was a nightmare. Let's give this one a whirl. Oh, this one came out really, really easily. Man, that's a win. Oh, man. Yeah, what is that stuff called? It's in a silver thing. Let me find that on my toolbox here real quick. Hey, the other thing, guys, make sure that you keep track of where these bolts are coming out of because they are different lengths. So here's, this one's shorter, this one's longer. Let me give you a quick little tip on how I kept track of these bolts. All right, so you got to keep track of these bolts because again, they're all coming out in different lengths. So what I did is I actually just got myself a couple pieces of cardboard, and I just loosely draw out all the different bolt locations on the side covers, and you just drop the bolts in, right? So I'm looking at this one. Here's my long bolt. Long bolt goes in the board. Here's my short bolt. Short bolt goes in the board. And then this, I actually just hung on my pegboard. So if you need to reuse your bolts and you want to keep track of the lengths, this works really, really well. Just draw out some things and throw them in. We'll be using these quite a bit on this teardown. So stay tuned for more on that. But we got two more. We got two more to go. From past experience, the last one is always the hardest. You never go 4 for 4. It's always 3 for 4. So let's see how we do. All right. In order to get this these last two out, I think it's just going to be easier to get this get the foot shifter out of the way. So you gotta have a 10 millimeter and you gotta have a 12 millimeter wrench. All right, 12 here. Let's pray to the gods. Come on! Oh, it turned. Okay, I mean, I'm satisfied with that. This one turned. That's a really good deal. That's awesome. I hope we have just as good luck with the 10 millimeter. So it's a 12 millimeter nut right here holding this shifter on. I'm really curious too to see, how this stuff cleans up because all of this stuff is worth money. So note, okay, nut fell off. There's just a washer here. All right. So we got our nut and our washer. I'm going to set that down. And then under here, it's kind of tough to see. Let me give you a little better angle. All right, just kind of looking down on this. There's just a little pressure. Okay, this one's a little rough, but this is 10 millimeter. You need to loosen this off in order for us to pull this off. And that's really the only two connectors that are holding this on. You don't have to take this bolt all the way out. You just need to loosen it. See how it just crimps together? Kind of crimps together on a little, I don't know what the right word would be, but it's serrated or whatever. But ideally, in an ideal world, this should just pull straight off. I'm going to take this nut all the way out. I think you do actually, because it is ribbed. That's right. There's a little indentation, so we do have to take this all the way out to get it out. I'm going to pull that out. So there it is. There's that bolt. Now what I should have done, I'm going to put that nut right, or that bolt right where the other one is. And then I think I'm going to need to grab a screwdriver or something just to pry this out. It should just pull. Ooh, my back end's moving on it. Yeah, I need to just grab a screwdriver to get that. Be right back. Wait one. All right, let's wrestle with this. Let me just get kind of behind it. Oh yeah, it's coming out. Coming out. Try not to drop the bike on top of me because that would be unfortunate. Having to explain that. Hey, Brian can't come to work today because he dropped a motorcycle on top of himself. But it should pop straight out. There it is. There we go. Shifter is off. And that really exposes, these two bolts we got to take off. So let's see if we're super, super lucky here. And then again, look, see how this is how this works. That slipped on there, and this nut or this bolt actually goes right into that groove, and that holds that on, and then it crimps on to that shifter. So we don't want to lose those bolts. We want to keep those together with everything else. So let's see if we have just as good luck with these other two bolts. Remember to label your bolts. Boom. All right, let's go after these last two down here. These, when you see these types of bolts on these, things tend to go really, really good. So let's see what happens. Oh, that turned. That turned. All right, so, okay, let's just go over to this last one here. Oh, are we gonna have the same luck? Come on. Oh, it went, it turned. It turned, guys. This is gonna be easy, easy. We're gonna be able to get these all out. I did smash my knuckle on that pretty good though. And it comes with the job. You know, I should be wearing gloves, right? Practice what I preach. Practice what I preach. But as soon as this bolt comes out, all I'm gonna do, hope I can show this to you. I'm gonna grab my cardboard and that's gonna slide right into that hole. Boom, right there. Staying organized. And then we just gotta go over to this one here. See if we can get this out of here. Oh, this one might be a little bit slow going. Lots of obstacles in the way here. But we should be able to get it. If I remember right, this is a pretty short one. You don't need to watch me do this. I'll pause and get this one out. Pretty straightforward. Lefty loosey. All right, I got it. I'm going to pull that out. And I'm just going to go straight to my board. And I'm going to put that in there. Just in case I got to reuse it, I know exactly where it came from. So the board trick works pretty well. All right, this cover should pop right off at this point. So I'm just going to grab it right here. And of course, this thing is crusty. It is crusty, guys. So I'm going to have to finesse this a little bit. I don't want to bang it around too much because I really do want to salvage these covers if I can. But they should, once these bolts are out, there's no gasket or anything on this one. There's gaskets on all of these. But what we need to do is we need to get this off. So I need to probably work on this a little bit here. Maybe get my rubber hammer, tap it a few times. You don't want to hit aluminum too hard because you can break it. And this one's got the shaft on the bottom here. So it's really got to pull straight out. This might be a job for the putty knife and some WD-40. I mean, it's just like there's so much trash up on top of this. This is going to take a little work. All right, let's go to work on this a little bit. I'm just drop my putty knife in on that seam. There's really not much you can hurt inside of here, so I'm not too worried about it. I've seen under the hood of one of these before. There's a little bit of there's some wiring up in there, but for the most part, should be just getting all the gunk and the corrosion out of here. Yeah, it's just like a wound. It's just dirt, gunk, grime, all up in here. Let's make sure that's totally clear here. Oh, this thing should pop off relatively easily. Yeah, it's trusty old putty knife. Works pretty good typically. Ooh, yeah, it moves. See if we can get that to move up just a little bit more. I don't want to dent this chain cover either though, because that's another part that is totally. Oh, there we go. Almost had it. Oh, she wants to come off of there. Come on. Okay, crowbar time. I think this is one of those moments where your crowbar is going to come in real handy. So I think I'm going to be able to come up under here. Get that there. I heard a nice little pop. There we go. It should just rock right off of there. This bike is just especially filthy. There we go. This is going to take some work. Really want to pull it straight off if I can. It's loose. It's getting there. And there's that cable that we're after. It's right there, but it's connected inside this thing. So we got to work on it. All right. What am I going to do here? I'm going to keep working it with the putty knife. I don't want to scrape up these covers because I'm going to show you guys. We're going to make these look So good. These covers are gonna pop. They're gonna shine again. And I'll put them up for sale, and you guys can buy them if you want. But yeah, that cover. There we go. That's where we were held up down here on the bottom for sure. That loosened up. Now it's starting to move. Again, man, just persistence, patience is really important. I think I'm hung up on this corner is what's going on. So I'm going to just get back up here. Oh, I broke my favorite putty knife. Oh my God. That's a tragic day, but oh well. We'll use the tool in hand and we'll dive down in there a little bit deeper. Ain't nothing, it's just a damn putty knife. We'll be good. Gotta get this thing off of there tonight. Let's go. Ah, boy. It is seized on there. Something fierce. But it's starting to move. You can see it starting to move. And again, it's got to just come straight out. This bolt, it does nothing. This is actually the adjuster for your clutch, for your clutch cable tension. So that's actually not holding anything on. That's all a part of the case. So let's see if I can get some leverage on this a little bit more here. I just want to pull this off. I mean, this is the thing. Like, I'm literally working on bikes live with you guys. I'm really not, future proofing or anything or setting up shots. I'm just kind of going for it. God damn, do I have to get this one off first? I can't remember which one it was. I thought that this came off second, if I remember right. But I'm having deja vu right now because I had similar problems or a similar kind of a conundrum with my CB350. I'm almost thinking, oh God, look at oh my God, if you could see all the garbage falling out of the bottom of this case right now, absolutely insane. This garbage. This thing should pop out. I might be missing a step. God, I really don't want to have to take that off because that's going to be a hell of a bear cat for sure. Because it's clear. It's clear. And I remember adjusting my clutch and everything beforehand too. So I'm going to wiggle on this a little bit more. I'll let you know what the secret is here in just a second. All right, guys, we're going to go at it with the Torx. I didn't intend to really get in on this. That one turned. Oh my God, that's a miracle and a half. All right. That one turned. Oh my God, we're taking the freaking cover off. Okay, man, I'm absolutely blown away that this came off. Didn't intend to get into this tonight. That was the most lucky thing in the world. That's actually kind of a good sign for a lot of the things we're doing on this bike. I really had a hell of a time on my CB350 getting this cover off. Let's make sure I got these all the way off. Now, there are gaskets on these, and you want to make sure you get them out. They're also worth noting. Ooh, yeah, oil. Ha! Duh! Grab the oil catch can. When you pull this off, there's going to be just a little bit of oil. Not much. Totally normal. Also on these nuts, or these little screws, there's a little rubber O-ring. Take care of those, okay? You don't want to lose those. So let's see if we can get these out. Let's keep going. You're coming along for the ride with me tonight, guys. Coming along for the ride. Make sure that O-ring, make sure the O-ring comes with on all of these. Let's see. There you go. There you go. So we got all three O-rings on that. Now we should be able to tap this free, just like that. There we go. Wow, that oil doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, this bike was last registered in 1989. That's crazy. This cover is going to shine up absolutely beautifully. What I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to take these screws, throw them in there. That's for my cover. This is actually your rotor, and this is where you set all of your timing. Here you go. That's where you're generating all your power. Everything is going on there. So, man, I'm absolutely blown away that those came off so easy. So, God, are we going to have as good of luck on all of these? If so, all right, that one turned. I'm feel like I'm playing the lottery right now, guys. That one turned. God, did somebody have this engine apart not that long ago? That one turned. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. All right, we're gonna go in on this one. Again, you're gonna hit and twist. That one came right out too. There's gonna be one more right here. Last one. God, they all turned, guys. They all turned. Oh my God. For those of you who don't work on these bikes, man, that's a freaking miracle and a half that these all came out. So I'm gonna get my trusty board ready, and I'm gonna start taking these out. I can't believe these all came out. Go to the board. There's one. Cannot believe it, guys. For those of you who work on these motorcycles, I hope you're like rejoicing with me, because that does not happen. And again, these screws are varying lengths as well. So again, using the cardboard can be really, really handy. There we go. So again, we're just going to stick that into the board and take this one out. You know, I've been having nightmares about taking these out. And again, I think we can attribute this a little bit to getting out and lubricating early. You know, we got out here. Oh, there's one more right here. And it turned. I think that buddy turned. Yep. Damn. We are just looking out, guys. Sorry if I'm in the camera. I'm just trying to see so I can get this out of here. I'm going to pull this out. I don't remember there being this much oil pouring out of the side of these engines, though. That's weird. That's a little weird. But we're going to put this one in here like that. And our last one, and then we're going to have these side covers off, guys. I did not anticipate going this level tonight, but we went there. We went there. And here you go. Let's drop this in. There are all of our engine cover bolts in the board, good to go. So now all we need to do, grab our trusty little putty knife. Try to get between the seals here. I'm going to try to pop this buddy off. And that'll show some good stuff. Now we're getting into it, guys. There it went. Just got to get it started. There is a gasket on this one, and this should pull straight out. All right, this rotor is going to stay there. The coils are going to, or not the coils. God, what are they called, guys? I'm hung up right on this little corner here. And here we go. We're going to see a bunch of cool stuff here. Pull it straight off. Come on, buddy. Come on. Here we go. There it is. Boom. Gasket is actually in one piece. Man, I wonder if I can save this. Gasket came out in one piece. That's amazing and a half. And then here we go. Here you go. You can see your, ooh, there's some slack in that chain there. Definitely need some work there. Oh, let's see. So then the connector for this is all inside this other case. But now that this is out, this should come right off now. Yeah, I don't think that was the holdup. Let me, I need a rag. I actually need to change this bucket too, so I'll be right back. Yeah, then what I like to do is just grab this board, just hang it on the wall. it's going to be there when you need it in the future. So that makes it a good deal. I'm going to keep prying on these things. We're going to get these buggers off tonight. All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the stator out. I actually took a whack on these. I didn't have to take this out the last time, but this cover, the chain cover, is being really, 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 really fussy right now. It should just pop off. I'm almost positive about that. So if you take out these 3 screws in here, you're going to be able to pop the stator right out. And the stator is just these coils in here. As the engine turns, that's what produces the energy, the power for your bike. So what we want to do, I want to pull, should come right out. Come on. Come on. Some fussy stuff here. There we go. Just so I can get these things out of the way. Yeah. Let's see if I can give you a little look. I mean, part of it is just kind of the exploratory nature of what we're doing here. Pretty neat. That's what it looks like on the inside. And it goes all the way through. I need to get this cover off in order to get this off. Let's turn it into a thing. Give me a second. All right, we finally had a little bit of success. It was getting hung up in this corner, and I see why, because there's a little rusted tube there. So I actually just used the crowbar, pounded it in, pulled it out. So we're in really, really good shape now, guys. We're going to be able to move through this pretty good. This covers, pulls straight out. All kinds of garbage is going to come out. I mean, look at this. Acorns, you know, who knows what kind of creatures are in there. But what we're going to do is we're going to spin this around. Oh, yeah, look at this. Look at that mess. See if I can give you a look at that. Got all kinds of good stuff in here, all kinds of critters. But this is your connection for that clutch cable. So all that work just to get this clutch cable undone. I think what I need to do, though, before I go any further, I'm not sure if this is going to actually just pop right out or not. Oh, damn. It might. Here's this bearing. Just watch this. There's no parts that you can really lose. There's one piece in here that you just want to keep track of. But this is a tight fit on this for sure. But it should pop out. Oh, everything is so corroded on this bike. There. Got it. So I'm just going to put that back. I'm going to put that back in there, and we're good to go. Now, this is going to pull right out. There you go. So there's the clutch cable. It is free. I'm going to detail how you deal with this thing later on, but all this has to get cleaned up. It's a total mess, but we got there, guys. Perseverance. Moving on through. All right, so we can actually get this cover completely out of the way. And again, I'm telling you, this will clean up so well. Just make sure you don't lose the parts in here. Again, there's a little ball bearing piece in here and in here. Just don't lose those, okay? We're gonna go put those in the box for sure. And then what we're looking at, your chain went around here, which is perfect. All right, it's all free, that's all good. And then look in here. All right, here's little devils in the details kinds of things. Let me zoom in here. Hopefully you can see what I'm pointing at. There's a little plug right here that this little wire goes onto. Do not forget about that. It is right there. And then there is a wire holder right here that we're going to bend down just a little bit. Oh, I got to give you a little elevation here. Kind of like you two. Elevation. All right. Okay, we're going to pull that. And then this whole rotor, God, there's so much trash in this thing. Oh my God. There's a little rubber piece here. Holds into some of this. Give you a little bit more elevation. I'll save you my Bono impressions. And then the whole thing's going to come apart at this plug right here. So you just pull it. Just pull it apart. My hands are all oily, but yeah, pulls apart. Here you go. And then if we go back down here, we're looking at, this will pull right off. It's magnetized, so it'll pull back at you just a little bit. But there you go. There's our stator and a cover all combined. And then you can actually just push this all apart. There's your stator, and there's your cover. And now we've got an exposed engine. So we made some serious headway here, guys. All right, so here's that clutch cable. Just gonna pull it out. And there you go. I'm not sure if this is salvageable or not. I mean, it will clean up. There's no cracks. The cool thing is that there are no cracks in this cable at all. So I'm thinking I will be able to clean this. Like, look at that. There are no cracks at all. Everything seems to move or is going to be able to be freed up. So, yeah, we're going to hold on to that for sure. Last little part that we can kind of dive into here just a little bit is just kind of looking at this headlight bucket. Let's just get this out of here. Just pull the wires right out. This headlight bucket, it's got one little crack in it, but honestly, that can be epoxied, I think. Other than that, looks to be in great shape. Somebody already stole the headlight off of it. But yeah, just this one little crack. That can be fixed. That can be fixed. That ain't no big deal. And then, what else do we got going on here? Oh, we got one other little part that we could take off here. Let's move you in. Love this tripod setup I got going on right now. So here's your front brake. And right here, there's just a little switch. There's a little switch in there. And it actually just pulls straight out. All right, it just pulls straight out, and you're good to go there. So no screw or anything like that that I'm aware of. It just kind of pulls straight out. Pull that through the harness. And then what we'll do is we'll go back down here into here. I'm getting a little bit better at this tripod stuff. We're just going to follow this in the wiring harness. And that's going to connect into a couple spots. There's a green. So I'm going to follow the green, or green and yellow. And then we're going to pull the black. And black is power. Boom. So there's the front brake light switch on the CL350. So we got that out too. All right. All right, guys, we made some serious progress though. All that's really left, we have the main wiring harness right here, and then we have the handlebar wiring that goes to all the switches on this. So I'm gonna leave this all connected for now. Probably gonna stop. And then we have this kind of tedious stuff. This goes to this bar, this one goes to this bar, and then we have our main wiring harness going through the whole bike. So we'll tackle that in a little bit. Throttle cable, actually, forgot about that one. Let's pull that out. That's right here. Slides right underneath the little elastic, or the little kind of old school zip tie. Pull that right out. And these things actually will just twist right off. Let me give you a little bit of elevation here, a little U2 chatter. And it's going to spin off. But the problem is that you got to tear in to this mount in order to get it completely off. And we'll do that next time. So this is a little bit more complicated than the other ones. We'll tear into that into that one next time. All right, we have made a hell of a mess. I got the kitty litter earlier, so I'll clean up all that oil. But there's our covers. There's our bags. Didn't put on a pair of gloves. You'd think I'd remember that. But we made a hell of a mess, and we actually got a lot further than I thought we would. Look, we got that whole side of the engine exposed, and we're getting closer and closer to getting this engine out. We got the headlight bucket out. We got all the majority of the cables out, all except the throttle cable, and everything's there. So we're just going to keep going, one piece at a time on this bike. It's been a blast so far, except I made that massive oil leak. I don't remember losing that much oil. Maybe just because it's on the side stand, it all dumped out of there. But at the end of the day, the oil's way cleaner than I thought it would be. All right, guys, I think that's what we're going to call it for the night. It's getting kind of late. Still lots to do, lots to salvage on the CL350, the 1972. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you learned a thing or two. I mean, I feel like I'm constantly learning. This is, again, only my second motorcycle. So I'm running into all kinds of new scenarios and things like that. So if you enjoy the videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow along a little bit, follow on Instagram and Twitter. I'll be posting some additional content on those channels from time to time. That is at BV Matson. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Keep on wrenching, everybody.